Meeting today of Wednesday, February 21st, so lots of different intros here for us. I'll call it to order, and if everyone could please rise for our Pledge of Allegiance. Just my land acknowledgement. Just one moment, my land acknowledgement didn't come out with my iPad like it usually does. So we'd like to start by beginning our meeting by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the territory of the Ottawa and Chippewa peoples who have stewarded this land throughout the generations. Thank you for your strength and resilience in protecting this land and inspiring us to uphold our responsibilities to do the same. With that, I will start us down our agenda for today with, oops, I just realized I missed roll call. So thank you, Sarah. She is helping me out here and stay on task.
Commissioner Shaw?
Here.
Commissioner Werner?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Wilson?
Yep.
Commissioner Anderson?
Here.
Commissioner Stanley? Here. Commissioner Treadwell?
Here.
Mayor?
Here. Now we'll move on to our announcements from the city manager. Thank you.
No announcements.
Okay, and any announcements from the city clerk?
No announcements.
Okay, so moving on to our topics for consideration, we are going to get an update from City Manager Vogel about our legal counsel for union negotiations.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Shamro. We have retained, well, hopefully through your vote here, we will have a retention of legal services from Steve Schwartz, who's a labor attorney that I've worked with for over a decade in various different capacities. He actually was here the other day to help us tee up union negotiations, and we actually have some days scheduled in April already. We already met with the Teamsters business rep. That was a nice meet and greet. And so I would be seeking approval for this legal counsel retention of services.
Does anybody have any questions? If not, I would take a motion.
I'll move that the legal services of Stephen H. Schwartz be retained for union negotiation and labor relations services as recommended by the city attorney as required by the city charter, and that the mayor and city clerk execute an agreement with Schwartz & Associates PLC for professional legal services associated with collective bargaining agreement negotiations and labor relations services at the rate of $180 per hour plus expenses and expert witness fees, with the total expenditure not to exceed $25,000, with funds to come from the city attorney's budget, with such agreement subject to approval as to its substance by the city manager and its form by the city attorney.
Support.
Thank you for that, and Tim gets a bonus taco after this for getting that mouthful out. Any further discussion on the motion? All right, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Motion passes. Thank you all. Okay, now we'll move to the diesel fuel purchase. This is often on our consent calendar, but it went a little high this month, correct?
Yes. And so I am seeking approval. I'm sorry. I don't know how to do this.
You can exit out right there.
Sorry. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
Yep, and we actually have Frank here if you have any questions. Our Director of Public Services. Our bids were sought and received with the low bid being from Scotland Oil Company, Inc. of Alma. So I am asking that the board approve the authorization to purchase the order from Scotland Oil in the amount of $23,031.40.
Do we have any questions about that, or someone just kind of want to second that motion or make that? Yes.
So why did this go high?
Because, well, just the fluctuation in price of gas.
So it's the same amount that's usually ordered,
Yes.
but it was really high.
But this time it just went above the spending authority. Yes, good question. Okay. Anybody want to make the motion or say so moved?
So moved.
Okay, second for Jackie?
Second.
There we go. All right, any further discussion? All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you all. All right, moving on to a food truck licensing here, and this one will be handed off to City Manager Vogel or the clerk. This kind of goes between both houses sometimes.
Yeah. So you've got a summary from our clerk recommending that an ordinance amendment be approved, which provides an exception to the requirement that a mobile food vendor have a license from the city clerk operating in Grand Traverse County Civic Center. This exception requires that the vendor have an appropriate permission from Grand Traverse County and also pass the required inspection from the Traverse City Fire Department. So I think that this is just avoiding the duplication of hurdles for the vendor.
So, yeah, so they've already gone through the county's whole process, which would match our own.
Correct.
Fantastic. Does anybody have any questions about that? Would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion that an amendment to the Traverse City Code of Ordinances mobile food vending license exception for the Grand Traverse County Civic Center, Chapter 865, which provides that a mobile food vendor operating within the Grand Traverse County Civic Center may operate without a permit issued by the city clerk, provided they pass the required Traverse City Fire Department inspection and have a permit from Grand Traverse County, be enacted with an effective date of March 2nd, 2024.
Support.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Commissioners. All right, any questions about this or comments? Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And for the public at home, I'm sorry, you can't see that there is no one here to give public comment, so that's why we haven't asked for it. It's not, we're skipping the protocol. And finally, we have an appointment here for the Board of Review. Commissioner Warner, you are the chair.
Yes, so we actually had more candidates than openings for a change, which rarely happens for this board specifically. But all three were excellent candidates. Dan Stiebel is returning incumbent who was very interested in staying on. We had a chance to chat with him, which was excellent. And then as well, we had a chance to interact and talk to Brian McGillivray. And we strongly recommend those two to fill the positions.
Great. Anybody have a motion? Thank you, Jackie.
Move that appointment of Brian McGillivray and Dan Steibel to the terms expiring December 31st, 2026 on the Board of Review, seats previously held by Danica Powell and Dan Steibel, as recommended by the Ad hoc Committee, consisting of Commissioner Werner, Mayor Pro Tem Wilson, and Commissioner Shaw, be approved.
Second.
Thank you. Any further comments? Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And thank you all. That was quick, brief, and we got good business done. So we're going to, for anybody at home who might have seen the postings, we are going to adjourn this meeting because we have to, but we will have a joint session with the Planning Commission starting at 6 p.m. We will reconvene and restart the meeting for that. Thank you for joining us.
Gonna bang the mallet?
Nope, I don't do that. I did the first meeting. That was about it.
Thank you, Jackie.